Hey, gorgeous. Hello, handsome. It's your girl, Melissa Jackson, with the All in Motion podcast team, and this is the Healing Energy segment here to bring you tips and techniques to live an intentional and phenomenal lifestyle. Today, we have a very special show for you titled Beating Cancer with Yoga Therapy, featuring Marsha Banks-Harold on episode number 68. Let's take a listen. Hello and welcome, All in Motion family. We have another very special guest for you. She is a wife of 32 years and a mother of four. She is an electrical engineer and has owned a yoga studio for more than 14 years, which is the only studio accredited to train yoga therapists. She specializes in healing traumas, persons with disabilities, body positivity, sound healing, and many other healing modalities. She owns multiple commercial properties and is soon opening a Connect and Sip cafe. She is a breast cancer survivor, and she is here to tell us her amazing story. Please give an all emotion welcome to Marsha Banks-Harold. Marsha.
Hey, Melissa, thank you for having me here today.
You're welcome. I'm so grateful that you're here to join us and tell us all about your story. How are you today?
I'm feeling fabulous, actually. Thank you for asking.
Awesome. So, just to get into your story, so you've been owning a yoga studio for more than 14 years, but you started out as an electrical engineer. So, how did you switch from electrical engineering or add into yoga?
Well, actually, I hit a glass ceiling in 2008, and I really wasn't sure what to do with myself because I'd always worked by the mantra of just work really hard and you could have everything that you want when you want it. And so when I hit that glass ceiling, I wasn't sure how to progress. And I met a yoga teacher in Williamsburg, Virginia, and she introduced me to yoga, and it was really no looking back after that.
Wow, that's amazing. That is awesome. So right away, did you go into healing and yoga therapy, or how did you start your training?
Actually, after practicing for 1 week in Williamsburg, Virginia, while I was retreating on a self care retreat, I actually decided that I wanted to learn more about yoga and yoga teaching. And the person that introduced me to it introduced me to the owner of the yoga studio in Williamsburg, Virginia. And she said, "You're perfect. Let's go ahead and get you signed up for teacher training." And so I did. Once I graduated, the students that started coming to my studio were more therapeutic. They had diabetes, cancer, knee replacements, hip replacements, and I soon realized that I needed to learn more about yoga therapy because yoga therapy allows me to assist clients from a biomedical and psychological perspective.
Wow, that's amazing. So you decided to become a yoga teacher after 1 week of a yoga class.
That's right. 1 week of doing yoga, and that was it. It changed my life. It allowed
Wow.
me to really process what I now know is the trauma that I had been experiencing in my life.
Wow. Talk about knowing and being ready for your calling and just like jumping on it when it comes to you, right?
That's right.
That's awesome. And so after that, you decided in the future, then you would move into the yoga therapy. So how has that helped you in your life and with your family and raising four boys?
Yes, so yoga therapy really helps me with managing my own anxiety and depression. It helps me with dealing with life when it's just a little bit off. And really recently, it's helped me with my cancer diagnoses because it's allowed
Mm.
me to utilize the skills that I have to heal my own body. And so, in terms of my family, it allows me to manage just how to be the best mom that I can, how to be the best wife, and more importantly, how to be good to myself. So that's how yoga therapy helps me on a day to day basis.
So can you tell us more about that? You said you are a cancer survivor, which is amazing. So grateful that you're still here to tell your story and to continue to live and help people and share. but you said that you learned how to heal your own body. And that's one thing that I, teach people all the time is, you can heal yourself. Yoga is one way, mindset and, being able to connect the mind, the body, and the spirit. So can you just tell us about your path of self-healing and, maybe how you can help some of our listeners to understand more about self-healing and what that is?
Well, you're absolutely correct. It's about our mindset, and yoga has allowed me to shift the way that I look at things. Of course, when I
Okay.
originally received the diagnoses, there were a lot of tears, there were a lot of thoughts, but being able to tap into breathing techniques, being able to stretch my physical body and build strength, and also to tap into the philosophy of yoga, really loving myself, being able to create time to meditate, to use my crystals, to listen to my music and sound healing. All of those
Wow.
things contributed to me being able to be here 1 year later after my surgery.
Wow, that is amazing. So you did have surgery. I guess after the surgery, everything was fine.
Well, actually, it's been a little bit more interesting than fine.
Okay.
I mean, I'm always an overachiever in everything I do, and apparently that applies to being a breast cancer
Yeah, we
survivor as
noticed.
well. And so, yeah, I had some complications. I actually passed out the first night that I came home, and I had to have an emergency surgery to deal with excess bleeding that was occurring. I also, the hormone therapy that I was taking really impacted my brain in terms of how I thought. It impacted my joints. And so that's where yoga and yoga therapy has helped me because I've been able to increase my flexibility to really work through lymphedema that showed up in my body. So I'm really grateful for yoga and yoga therapy and to be able to share these experiences with other cancer survivors and with those who work with cancer survivors as well.
That's amazing. So do you have any maybe specific techniques that you could share of some of the things that you did to help yourself heal a little faster?
Definitely. What I really love, one of my favorite yoga poses is called Goddess Pose. And
Okay.
that really helped me a lot. It allowed me to really open up through my heart chakra and really kind of build strength back into my overall body, mind, and spirit. And I would say, in addition to Goddess Pose, it was really my meditation, that quiet
Mhm.
time where I was able to just sit, to focus on gratitude, to really tap into a sense of wellness and to call that into my physical body and into my spirit.
Awesome. Now, is there a specific type of meditation, or you would just say like meditation in general?
Yeah, for me, it depends on what I'm experiencing. For me, when I think of meditation, I try to be as simple as possible, just having some quiet time to myself. I can be lying down or seated. I recently started playing crystal sound bowls. And so I use those. I would record myself playing crystal sound bowls and my tongue drum and my chimes. And I would listen to that and just focus on
Wow.
that music, and that really helped me a lot.
Sound healing is really amazing. I absolutely love sound healing. And it's really great that you use that to help with your cancer treatments. And I wanted to ask you so that, I mean, I kind of know the answer, but I want to tell everybody else about this amazing class that you created. Can you tell us about My Body Don't Bend That Way?
Yes, I'd love to. Yeah, I created I created My Body Don't Bend That Way because after all the certifications that I had gone through, I realized the people that were showing up in my classes were really new to yoga or just were struggling a little bit with their flexibility. So the My Body Don't Bend That Way flagship class really is an invitation to all beings to show up just as you are, whether you can touch your toes, whether you can, just really stretch in any direction. My Body Don't Bend That Way says, come and we'll work it out together.
That's awesome. So basically, My Body Don't Bend That Way is for everybody and anybody who, especially those who say, I can't do yoga.
That
So
is
it's pretty
right.
much
You
for
got it.
anyone.
It is for everybody. We have people from all ages, different sizes. It is truly an inclusive class.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So if someone wanted to take your My Body Don't Bend That Way class, but they are not in your hometown of Alexandria, Virginia, how could they do that? Are they still able to take that class?
Absolutely. That's the beauty of the pandemic. We were able to go virtual. So now we have hybrid classes. You're welcome to log on to my website, piesfitnessyoga.com, create an account, sign up for a class of your choice. It'll be labeled in home. And then you can meet with me to experience My Body Don't Bend That Way, or you can train with me to become a yoga teacher or a yoga therapist, or you can meet with me one on one to work through the imbalances of your life. So that's what we do here at Pies.
I love it. Piesfitnessyoga.com. Is that correct?
That's correct.
All right.
PIES fitnessyoga.com.
What does pie stand for? I mean, does it stand for me going out here and getting an apple pie? Because that's what I'm thinking about. Like, oh, okay, I want some pie. But it's my understanding that you are much more intellectual than I am. So you had a much bigger plan in mind when you came up with pies.
Well, I really respect your intellect a lot. And the reality is, PIES, it stands for physical, intellectual, emotional, and spiritual fitness. It was actually given to me during that week when I worked out and became interested in yoga. And I just wrote the words down. And when the time came to open my studio, I named the studio PIES, physical, intellectual, emotional, and spiritual well being.
Wow, I love it so much because that's exactly what we need to heal. We need to connect to our physical, intellectual, emotional, and spiritual. It just kind of brings everything together. And it's amazing how everything was handed to you that very first week. Like, talk about the universe being on your side.
Definitely, you're right. I'm really grateful for the universe because it really continues to bless me over and over again. And don't get me wrong, there have been plenty of challenging situations in my life. But what I've learned from yoga and yoga therapy is that if you can settle into your form of meditation, if you can move your physical body, if you can just hold space for yourself, then the universe will come through over and over again.
Wow, that's so beautiful. Oh my goodness. And it's so true though. I mean, I'm always amazed when I ask for something and then the universe drops it like right in front of me. And I'm like, wow, I just asked for that. You didn't even give me a minute to think about it. And that's when you know that you've let go and you're really connected to like the deepest part of yourself because things start to happen very easily. Do you agree?
Oh, most definitely. There have been so many situations in my life. In fact, when I opened my first yoga studio, we didn't have a lot of space. We started running out of space for people. And I said, if the people next door would move, I would expand the studio and make it larger. And the next week, they moved out. So there you go. So
You
always
kick
say,
those
be
people
careful.
out.
I didn't kick them out. You just got to know the power of your manifestation skills. So if you want it, believe it and trust that it will happen.
Absolutely. That's a beautiful thing. And it's so true. If everyone understood the power of their ability to manifest and create what they want in life, then we'd all be walking around here with what we want, which would be great. But sometimes we do have to put in a little bit of physical, intellectual, emotional, and spiritual work to get there. And before we go, I just want to talk a little bit more about your business, Pies Fitness, and you have coming up a Connect and Sip cafe that's going to be right next door to your studio. So, could you tell us a little bit about what a Connect and Sip is so that we can come and visit and check you out?
Awesome. Yes, I definitely can. So, Connect and Sip is really an expansion of the Pies Fitness Yoga Studio community. It's a space where you can show up and connect with fellow yogis and people from the community, but also learn about health and wellness opportunities. So, we'll have people come in acupuncturists, physical therapists, occupational therapists, coaches, so that everyone can just learn from each other. So, it's going to be a place where you can come and up level your knowledge about health and wellness, also drink a little tea, have a little coffee, a little juice. maybe some coconut water, whatever speaks to you. That's what we'll be doing at Connect and Sip.
Wow, that's awesome. That's I can't wait till that opens up. I would like to be the first one to come and visit. Now, is there a fee for this place?
Yes, it will be a restaurant slash health and wellness facility.
Got
So
it.
people will come in, we'll charge for our services as we bring in providers so that they can be compensated for their time.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. And for the last time, your website is piesfitnessyoga.com. Is there anything else that you would like to share with us about Pies Fitness or maybe you want to let people know how they can connect with you or the different ways that you can help people, how you serve the community?
Thank you so much. Well, first, I just want to thank you, Melissa, for being there from the very beginning and really continuing to honor our relationship and our friendship. And the other thing is, I'd love to have you all reach out to me if you're working through any type of anxiety, depression, if you're dealing with career issues or family issues. I'd love to have you connect with me so that we can chat through my yoga therapy services, or if you're thinking about becoming a yoga teacher or a yoga therapist, reach out to me. I would love to have you join my program. And overall, I just want to thank you all for having me here today to talk to you a little bit about using yoga therapy to rehabilitate yourself physically, intellectually, emotionally, or spiritually. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you for coming. And I appreciate you. I appreciate everything that, we've been through over the years. And yes, I was there at the very beginning in that very tiny little space that maybe 10 people was too much. I do remember those days. That was, around the time when I first started teaching yoga too. So I definitely appreciate you. I have so much gratitude for you and I seen what you've done with the community. It's just amazing. And I look forward to seeing what Pies Fitness is going to continue to do in the future and the connect and sip. And again, for everyone who's listening, if you want to practice yoga online, if you want to become a yoga therapist, teacher, if you are interested in any of the services, she is so amazing and welcoming and would love to have you and invite you into her community. And for the last time, just anything else, Marsha, that you'd like to share before we go?
No, I just want to thank everyone and I look forward to connecting with you soon. Reach out to me. I'd love to be able to be a part of your journey.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Thank you, Marsha. Thank you, everyone, for listening.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you for joining me and the All in Motion podcast team for episode number 68, Beating Cancer with Yoga Therapy featuring Marsha Banks-Harold. Please like and share if you have enjoyed this episode. Visit our website, allinmotionpodcast.com, to subscribe and listen to our other episodes. Remember to follow us on Instagram and your favorite podcast platform. And remember, if nobody else tells you today, I love you and you are amazing.